But we are, believe me, we do not arrest journalists. As I can personally attest to you, the press in Israel is robust, free, very energetic, and free to say anything that it wants. And you know what? It does. That's not the case in our neighborhood, but it is the case in Israel and will continue to be the case in Israel.
Moti, my friend, it's good to see you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You're out of prison now?
I'm out of prison, yeah. I've been in prison for 10 months now.
10 months?
Yeah.
Been in prison. So are you free now?
No, I'm not free. Now I'm in a home arrest.
Okay.
I cannot leave home. I cannot go to work. I cannot use smartphones or computers or anything. I have to have 2 people watching over me 24/7.
Okay.
Doing nothing, actually. And it can be for many months now until the court will start, and many more months until it will be over.
So the trial hasn't started yet?
No, it hasn't started yet. I mean, I was in prison for 10 months without a trial.
Okay. What are they accusing you of?
Well, they're accusing me of, well, actually many things. I mean, so many things that I cannot even remember what they're accusing me, but mostly speaking against public figures, social workers, judges, police officers.
So, wait, speaking against them?
Speaking, well, not against them, against things that they do. Social workers for snatching kids from the parents, taking their kids from the parents.
This is a crime?
What, to speak?
To speak against judges, social workers,
well,
police.
it should be a democratic country. I mean, I suppose to have a democratic, I mean, it's a democratic country. I can be able to speak up and say what I have to say. I mean, even if the government don't like it, I mean, I can criticize the government, supposedly. But obviously I can't, because when I spoke up, I was in prison.
Okay. Now, are you a journalist or something?
I'm a journalist, yes. I'm a journalist.
You have a press pass?
Yes, I do have a press pass.
So you're recognized in the state as a journalist.
Absolutely.
And were you writing these things in that context? As a journalist? Were you was it part of your journalist reporting on
Yeah, it was part of the journalist reporting. I mean, I wrote almost every day about the case, every day about a new case that happened, that social workers took kids from the parents, and they do it by deceiving the parents, the system, the courts, everybody actually. So I kind of stood up. You can call me an activist as well, because I stood up and spoke and said everything and write everything, and apparently I'm not allowed to do that, because when you do that, when you criticize part of the government or things that the government do to people here, they send you to prison. Yeah.
So you were in prison for 10 months. They just released you to house arrest, so you're still not free because the trial hasn't happened yet. How many years could you be facing in prison for criticizing the government?
Well,
as a journalist.
As a journalist, yeah. Well, I do believe that the trial will start in about 6 months from today, and it will last about a year and a half. So 2 years from now, the trial will be over. And then I believe that I will be facing at least 10 years in prison.
10 years?
Yeah. This is what I believe. I mean, the prosecution did not come and say, okay, we want him to be in 10 years in prison, but the amount of the accusations, I mean, it's bigger than a book.
Wait a second, so I'm sorry to interrupt. A journalist who writes articles or does publications on a daily basis each one of those publications or those articles can be used against him to add up to a 10-year prison sentence for criticizing.
Yeah, I mean, I do have 120 accusations.
Okay.
They accuse me with 120 acts that I did, that I write, that I spoke, supposedly.
Okay.
Some of them not even mine.
Okay.
But since I spoke up, since I revealed crimes happening in the government,
Okay.
with the backup of the government, so they saying, okay, we will accuse you with things you did, and among the things with things you didn't do.
Okay. So they were even making up accusations.
Absolutely making up many accusations.
Against you.
Yeah.
Now, you may not be aware of this, but while you were in prison, there was an incident where Donald Trump made a decision to move the American embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. The president of Turkey reacted to that.
Mr. Erdogan.
Right.
Yeah.
He criticized Israel as a terrorist country. So I was going to point out that Netanyahu said in response to the Turkish president that he will not be lectured by somebody who arrests journalists for criticizing the government.
Is that a joke?
No, he said that. That was his
Really?
response.
But Netanyahu himself is putting journalists in prison for criticizing the government, so how can it be? How can he say something like that to the Turkish when he's doing that inside Israel?
Okay, and I guess you're an example of that.
I'm an example. I mean, until now I was 10 months in prison without even a court. I mean, are we in the dark ages?
So how long did they hold you in jail before they charged you with a crime?
Well, for 40 days I was under investigations.
40 days?
40 days. Almost every day I was under investigations. And after 40 days, they pressed charges against me. And I was pretty shocked because, okay, you press charges against me. Take America, for instance, okay? When they press charges against you, so you can still be free, pay a bail bond, and go out and, deal with it from the outside. I mean, the law said that you're not guilty until proven. Okay, you're innocent until proven differently. Okay, until proven that you're guilty. Well, the trial did not even start. I mean, I'm obviously at this moment innocent, not guilty, and still I spent 10 months in prison.
So they treat you like you're guilty even though they haven't proven that you're guilty, and therefore you're innocent.
Absolutely.
So doesn't Israel have some kind of a mechanism where somebody could put bail or bond to get out of jail?
No, they have to decide. The same government that locks you inside have to decide that you're not so much danger to the surrounding. Okay. So if they decide that your danger is not that bad, so sometimes they let you out for home arrest, okay? Depositing a lot of money and signing for a lot of money. I mean, in case you will do something you're not allowed to.
Well, okay. So let me try to understand this, because I think that most people internationally might struggle to understand this. You have Moshe Katsav. He was a former president of Israel.
Yeah.
He was accused of raping. He was convicted of raping a woman.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court upheld the conviction that he was accused of raping a woman. And he was allowed to go to house arrest, and that isn't considered a level of danger high enough to keep him in prison the whole time. They kept you in prison. You didn't rape anybody, you didn't murder anybody.
I didn't hurt anybody physically.
Okay.
But yeah, they still put me in prison and...
for being a journalist writing journalistic articles.
Well, not only for that, I tell you, some of the accusations, for example, is for demonstrating with a megaphone under public figures, such as judges and social workers. I was demonstrating under the house, telling them to stop doing what they're doing, which is against the law, okay? And they charge me for, I mean, it's the basic thing that I'm allowed to do is writing my opinion, saying my opinion, and demonstrate, okay?
Okay, so...
Okay, so this is the basic law in Israel,
Right.
okay? So when you do use that privilege,
freedom of expression.
when you do use it, they lock you in and they say, okay, you were not allowed to do that, okay? You did that, and so you insulted this public figure when you do that. You shamed him and shit like that, you know.
Okay, so so a judge is sitting in his apartment, and you're outside on the street with a megaphone, and there's demonstrators, and what are the boundaries of the law? What are you allowed to do, not allowed to do?
Well, I'm not allowed to insult the men, okay?
Okay.
I'm not allowed to insult them, which I didn't. I mean, they said they were insulted, okay, but I actually did not. I told them, okay, listen, things like, listen, you are a judge and we are people. We're not numbers, we're not case numbers. We're people. Look at us as people, not as numbers, okay? Because in the end, you judge people, not numbers. And we have feelings and we have families, and you sometimes put us behind bars when we actually didn't do anything, but you don't look at us as people.
Just that's insulting. That's insulting.
And same thing like that is actually insulting the judge. Yeah. So, or when I come to under a social worker house and I demonstrate and I say on the megaphone, pay attention because you're tearing families apart. You're taking the kids. People are mentally broken because of that, and you destroy the lives. I mean, watch carefully, more carefully, before you take kids out of the parents' home, okay? Just pay attention, and this is insulting.
Now, if they feel traumatized by that, they call the police, right? And the police come, and the police say, Moti, you're bothering the community here, leave. What would you do in this case?
Well, usually I leave. Usually I do this demonstration for not more than 2-3 minutes. I mean, I say what I have to say, what I came to say. I'm saying it 2-3 minutes and leaving. I mean, most of the times the police don't even come.
Okay.
And then they file charges against me and the police. And they used to invite me for investigations.
Okay.
I think I've been in more than 30 investigations.
Okay.
And then a senior officer is deciding that what I did was legal and is closing the case.
Okay.
But then one day they took all the closed cases, okay, and they put it in one big case. And when you did it one time, it's okay. Second time, it's okay. When you do it 10 times, you're a danger to the country.
So you became a bigger threat to the country for these demonstrations that were legal and they were closed cases than somebody who is convicted of raping.
Yeah, I can tell you that many cases of people were suspected in murder, child molesting, rapes, drug dealing, okay? Many of the cases of these people are in home arrest right from the beginning, okay? They're being in prison for a couple of weeks and going home, okay? So they're in home arrest, okay, it's not really comfortable, but still they're outside, okay? Me, 10 months. So
I think you've spoken about it a bit, but a point blank ask, why would they single you out like this? Why you? Why are they targeting you? I think you told me in another conversation that they even convened a committee meeting with the state prosecutor against you.
Yeah, yeah.
Why?
Well, there was a committee in the Knesset that they spoke about me and what all the social workers stood up and said he's doing this to me and he's doing that to me and he's writing about me and he's writing that I'm kidnapping kids, which he is, and everything that he's doing is legal. They actually saying in this committee, they're saying it's legal. Everything that he is doing is legal. So why the hell was I arrested for 10 months? Why? For doing illegal things? Is this what you call democracy? I mean, how can Netanyahu, like you said, can say about Mr. Erdogan that he's putting journalists behind bars when he's doing it? I mean, he's doing it then for nothing. And by the way, I want to tell you that many people that were whistleblowers, okay, in a variety of matters, the government tried to put them behind bars for allegedly murder, rapes, and many things, many accusations that never happened.
So when somebody in Israel exposes the corruption, they make up false accusations to put them in prison?
Yeah.
That happens in Israel?
That happens in Israel time after time, and I'm the last one.
Wow.
Yeah.
What can be done about this?
Well, I guess somebody have to wake them up, okay? Somebody have to tell, not to the government, because if you tell the government, you know what's the bottom line. The bottom line is that you finish in prison. But you have to tell the world, okay? This bubble that the Israeli government created, saying that we are a democracy and you can speak up here and you can say and think and write whatever you want, okay? It's not true, okay? You cannot do that, and I'm the perfect example for it, okay? So the world must know that this is what's going on in Israel. Once the world will know, okay, the government will not be able to just say it without proving it, you know. So I think that this is what have to be happening.